What's making your headlines for this week on Inside UL is that pharmacy students learn about the odds of infertility during a guest lecture conducted by Expect. Renowned international mathematics professor gave a 2-day seminar on maths lessons. It was a festival of ideas at the Digital Youth Festival hosted by the University of Limpopo. Performing arts students are making their debut with 2 stage plays at Africa's largest arts festival. High School in Ramamabulo is proud of its learners for winning 3 main prizes at the Indigenous speech contest at the University of Limpopo, and student entrepreneurs compete to represent the University of Limpopo in Intervarsity competitions. These are some of the top stories for this week at the University of Limpopo. Thank you for joining us. My name is Itumile Ndipila, and you are watching Inside UL News. Good day. Infertility, the inability to conceive or sustain a successful pregnancy, affects more than 48 million couples in the world. Of these, 10 million live in sub-Saharan Africa. The prevalence of infertility is much higher in developing countries than in developed world, and this is due to a number of factors, including poor access to assisted reproductive techniques and proper health care. In South Africa, infertility occurs in 15% to 20% of the population. That's 1 in every 6 couples. Now, the University of Limpopo's Pharmacy Department hosted an expert in this matter to deliver a guest lecture to third-year pharmacy students. This was for them to learn about infertility as part of their endocrinology and reproduction module. The lecture was delivered in fertility specialist at the Limpopo Fertility Clinic, Dr. Jackson Ndlovu, who highlighted that women with significantly overweight or those who are underweight may have difficulty becoming pregnant, while alcohol consumption may increase the risk of birth defects. He also stated that smoking and drug use can lower sperm counts in men and increase the risk of miscarriage, premature birth, and low birth weight babies in women. According to Dr. Ndlovu, infertility is inability to conceive after 12 months of unprotected sexual intercourse for those under the age of 35 and 6 months for those aged 35 to 40. He emphasized the importance of seeking professional advice for couples having difficulty conceiving, particularly those over the age of 40, because their egg quality may be compromised. The distinguished healthcare practitioner also cautioned the students that behavioral factors such as smoking, using drugs, and excessive alcohol intake can all contribute to infertility in couples. He also warned the students about the dangers of unprotected sex, stating that sexually transmitted diseases can lead to infertility. Dr. Ndlovu also discussed the various pharmacological techniques available to help people with infertility achieve conception as potential options. He specifically mentioned sperm and egg donation, as well as in vitro fertilization, IVF. According to Dr. Gauteng, a senior lecturer in the pharmacy department and the module coordinator, the purpose of the lecture was to provide students with current and up-to-date clinical experiences.
So the purpose was for the students to interact with someone who deals with the condition almost on a daily basis, because Dr. Ndlovu is a fertility specialist. His job is to assist couples who are having challenges in terms of conceiving. So in terms of how the day unfolded, this was very fruitful. It went way better than I expected, and I'm grateful for the fact that this is the first of many lectures that we will have with him.
Dr. Gauteng says the pharmacy program at the University of Limpopo has one of the most acute curricula that incorporates industry trends and best practice. She says it covers a wide range of modules that are integrated.
So what usually happens the way our modules are structured, they are integrated, wherein we have the anatomy, physiology aspect, we have the pharmacology component, and we also have the chemistry component. So mostly I deal with the clinical pharmacology component. So for students to actually see someone different educating them, I think it facilitates them and it motivates in that this is not like a normal class. You can tell as well how the atmosphere was like. Students were very happy and they were engaging with the guests. So that is very good. And I hope that the lessons that they learned from Dr. Ndlovu, they will live with them and they will help the students to be able to guide their patients and also community members who do not have these platforms or do not have the luck or the privilege of having someone in his position coming to talk to them.
Still on guest lecturing, the University of Limpopo hosted a 2-day seminar in which an internationally renowned full professor of mathematics, Prof. N. Chairperson, delivered mathematics education lessons study to maths teachers, curriculum advisors, professors, and academics. Prof. Chairperson said there is a gap in mathematics teaching and teachers need to collaborate towards enhancing mathematics teaching and its problem-solving theories.
So it's very important is to move away that teaching is something private, but we are a team together trying to improve the teaching. And it creates a professional community, and she mentioned business as one example, Catherine Lewis, that in business they do this all the time, but another example I will say is in hospitals you have doctors sitting together discussing cases. How can we help this patient to make him get better? You always discuss cases. What can help? What can we do? And that's something I think in teaching we have not been so good at, talking together as colleagues and learning from each other, because you might be good at something, but your colleague can be good at something else, and then you can share this knowledge and you can kind of grow together. Both can grow from learning from each other. So shared goals, instructional approaches, and I said it's not about the teacher who's teaching. That's very important, because when you go into a class and you say you are the one teaching, you feel like, oh, it's all about me. But of course you make yourself very vulnerable in the sense all your colleagues is coming observing you. But it's the lesson is jointly, you made it together. So the lesson is not that teacher responsibility. It's not his student, it's our students. We go in and try to work with them as a team. And it just happened to be one of them teaching.
Lekwa Mukwana, a senior lecturer in mathematics education at the University of Limpopo, reflected on the seminar and said that as much as they learn from international best practice in mathematics teaching, it is important to do so within the bounds of local context.
Mine is to say, when we reflect on this seminar of lesson studies, we should think of its relevance in terms of the poor performance of mathematics in South Africa as a whole and the need to learn international best practices. However, as we do the learning, we need to put our context at the back of our minds, because in some countries, the language of teaching and learning is the mother tongue, and it's a different story here in South Africa, where we have got over 11 languages. So it's not going to be a copy and paste, but instead it should be borrowing from the concept of lesson study, and we see how we can push the borderlines and accommodate ourselves as a country and improve the performance of mathematics.
Deputy Vice-Chancellor for Teaching and Learning, Professor Richard Madaje, highlighted the importance of mathematics and science subjects and said South Africa is not doing well in these areas. Therefore, the mathematics seminar serves as a benchmark for best teaching and learning practice.
Mathematics and even science subjects are deemed to be a challenge in the country currently. And in many studies, South Africa does not fare well. We are almost always occupying not a very good position when it comes to maths. We are therefore grateful that today we have an esteemed scholar in the person of Professor Jacobson, who has been in this field for many years. And we trust the interactions that we are going to have today will also help us to generate recommendations that are going to help us to improve especially performance by our learners and students, and even ourselves as academics. What should be done in order to improve performance in maths?
Prof. Madaje says mathematics education is highly important for expanding the proportion of scarce skilled professionals.
But if I may zoom in on a bit on maths, as you are aware, maths is regarded as a gateway subject that if you do not perform well in maths, it's going to be extremely difficult for you to get admission into critical programs such as medicine, optometry, pharmacy, accounting. The list is endless. But the issue is that if your performance in maths is not good, the gates are like closed for you.
Still in pursuit of a youth that is prepared for the industrial revolution and the demands of emerging markets, it was a festival of innovation at the University of Limpopo when the institution collaborated with the Africa Beyond 4IR organization to host a digital youth festival. The initiative intends to create a platform to expose the youth of South Africa, particularly those based in under-resourced communities, to the opportunities available in the digital creative industries. The activities included digital literacy, business development, entrepreneurship, funding and marketing, among other things. The University of Limpopo's Technology Transfer Officer, Thabo, encouraged the youth to invent and use its services to protect their inventions, such as intellectual property and copyrights.
My role is to inform you about what the office does. One is that the office is divided into two. We have what we call the technology transfer, where we deal with the brand protection, your intellectual property. What do we mean when we deal with intellectual property? The innovations that you come up with, we make sure that we help you to assess them and check if there is any intellectual property applicable. For simple example, he's showing me AB4IR, and that is not protected in terms of IP. How do I know that it's protected? There must be a small r on it. So it means everyone and anyone here can use this same logo and they will not do anything to us if we use it. So it ought to be protected in terms of the law. You come up with beautiful logos for different kinds of businesses, but you don't protect them. We do not protect them for you. By law, every business person must be able to protect them for himself or herself. However, we are in position to guide and direct on how you are able to do that. That is the first thing. Secondly, we've got what you call commercialization aspect, in which in commercialization aspect, we don't only protect that logo for you if you want it to be protected. You must also understand why you are protecting that logo. Basically, what we are simply saying that, we are simply saying that that logo that is being protected for you, you must be able to apply it somewhere within your businesses. If you are not being able to use it, therefore you can be able to maybe assign it to somebody, license it to somebody, so that he can be able to generate revenue for you.
Khole said the protection of intellectual property also helps avoid it being compromised or stolen by helping start-up business draft non-disclosure agreements. Still on the Digital Youth Festival, the University of Limpopo has, for over a decade, taken digital literacy to remote communities that would otherwise not have access to such an education. The university partnered with NEMISA, and these digital literacy lessons, according to one of the trainers, Gift Maluleke, are offered for free and everyone can enroll, even those without matriculation or formal education.
Our digital literacy is open for everybody who needs to register. You don't need to have gone to school or have a certain qualification. As long as you can read and write, you are allowed to come to our institution to register. So if you want to register, you come to ICT building, or you can contact us on 015-268-4750.
In collaboration with IBM, there is also a free treat for those interested in advanced digital literacy. Maluleke has more details.
And then we also have other courses called IBM courses. The IBM courses, these are special technology courses where we invite people that are interested in data science, in doing Python, in doing R, to come to our institution to enroll for free. So the other courses that we do, we have what we call digital entrepreneurship. This is where our partner TTO comes very much handy, where people that have businesses and need to advance their businesses in terms of technology, they need to register in the course, and then we take them through the content where we teach them how to use the emails, how to use the banking apps, how to use also things that will boost their business. For example, now we have what we call WhatsApp for Business. In terms of WhatsApp for Business, to what extent can you use WhatsApp to help you get more customers? So these are some of the things that you need to do in order to be able to get advanced when it comes to digital entrepreneurship.
One of the hundreds of young people who benefit from this program is Takalani Moran from Ratoka, just outside Mankweng. She said the course was highly beneficial and she encourages fellow youth to take up the opportunity.
This course has been beneficial more as I've learned how to operate different Microsoft programs. I've learned how to operate the Word program, Excel, and many more. And then the university for giving us an opportunity to engage in this course. Karata encourage more youth to engage as it's a building block to one's future.
The Limpopo Collab is a community engagement program that was founded through a Memorandum of Understanding MOU in 2012 between the University of Limpopo and Department of Telecommunications and Postal Services. The project aims to bridge the technological disparities between advanced and marginalized communities by participating in the digital literacy training of unemployed youth, sector users, and ICT practitioners. When we return from the break, we cross over to Africa's largest annual gathering of artists in the Eastern Cape. Stay tuned. It is that time of the year again when artists from all walks of life descend on the Eastern Cape for the biggest annual celebration of the arts on the African continent, the National Arts Festival, which kicked off on 22 June and will conclude on 2 July. The festival is an important space for artists and audiences to come together, engage and create unique cultural experiences and drive transformation. The festival has deep roots in Makanda, former Grahamstown. The festival will never be the same again this year because the University of Limpopo performing arts students have brought two scintillating stage plays that reflect on current issues that define the course of people's life. The university began with the performance of The Prince of Savenga on Tuesday at City Hall, followed by the set of plays on Wednesday, and will conclude tonight at 10 p.m. at City Hall. The Prince of Savenga, which is centered on consequences of defying an order wherein a kingdom's traditional practices seem to clash with the supernatural world. Another stage play they are performing is The Ghost Trackers, which features three exotic dancers who begin to find their freedom from gender-based violence. The story is written and directed by Dr. Ola Chris Aginola, a senior lecturer at the University of Limpopo, in honor of all survivors and victims of rape, femicide, inequality, and GBV all over the world, especially on the African continent and particularly in South Africa. The last performance will be on Saturday, 1 July at 4 in the afternoon at the City Hall. The show was prompted by shocking statistics that revealed over 40,000 reported rape cases in the country. In contrast, the number of sexual offences reported in 2018 exceeded 50,000. We are still focusing on youth, and 3 learners from Matukana High School in Ramamabulo, just outside Muriam, were overjoyed with their awards after winning the first Indigenous language speech contest hosted by the University of Limpopo in honor of Africa Month. The famous speeches that defined the course of history had to be translated from English into the contestants' native languages. The speeches were I Am an African by Thabo, I Have a Dream by Martin Luther King, and Rivonia Trial by Nelson Mandela. The goal is to preserve South Africa's rich history and pass it down to future generations, while also instilling a sense of preserving indigenous languages in order to observe the United Nations International Decade of Indigenous Languages, which will run from 2022 to 2032. Merima Bonya, the first prize winner, translated and recited Martin Luther's speech and says winning gave her confidence and a sense of pride.
I did I Have a Dream by Martin Luther King Jr. When I was reciting the poem, I was so very nervous, at the same time proud of myself that I was able to do a speech in my home language, my cultural language that I'm so proud of. So I was so proud of myself that even though I'm nervous, I went through with it and I was able to complete my mission. Winning, it's not in terms of seeing the trophy to me. To me, winning is being able to do it with confidence. Even if I had lost, I would have still won because I was able to present my speech fluently, proudly, and also I was able to do it with confidence. That's what it means to me. It's not about the trophy, it's about being able to be proud of yourself, being able to be confident enough to do it.
In the second place was Neosi Abi with Thabo Mbeki's I Am an African speech recited in Sesotho. Siabi doubles as the Lena Representative Council President at his school and in the whole of Mamabulo Second.
I would like to start by greetings to you all. I am Siabineo, the president of Matukana and Mamabulo Second. This speech that I have translated, it was about I Am an African, which was presented by Thabo Mbeki. The feeling of this speech that I was making, it made me feel like, actually it made me feel to understand the heritage of our land and our nations. That's the only thing that made me to feel good about these speeches.
In the third place was Disezo Maila from the same school, who delivered the Rivonia Trial speech in Sepedi.
Now I presented the speech that was done by Nelson Mandela. Rivonia Trial is Rivonia Trial, which says, "It is an ideal for which I'm prepared to die for." So me presenting this speech not only made me see that I can present speeches in like I presented in a very wide crowd, whereby I was proud of myself for being able to stand in front of a wide crowd and be able to present a speech, which the speech even shows that I can do this. So it really means a lot to me for presenting this speech.
The students competed in an open category alongside university students and community members. Their principal is a very excited leader as a result of this. She stated that having 3 winners from her school demonstrated that their curriculum is relevant in the real world. Let's listen to Principal Mampira Metepe.
The initiative was very good. Actually, it was excellent, and we are very proud of our learners. They've done a great job, and considering the initiative, looking at the topic itself, we embrace it because it shows that the curriculum that is being taught in school, it doesn't end in their books being academically good. They're able to translate from what they're being taught and to be proud of our language, and our learners, they really made us proud by showing the whole world, in fact, that we are very proud of our culture, and we embrace our culture, and we will continue to do so as a school. Academically, we ensure that whatever that we teach learners, it doesn't end there. They must embrace it, and we believe that by doing that, it will instill the culture of learning and being proud of who they are, of their language, and we'll continue doing that with our learners. So it was a great initiative, and we wish it would continue, and it will make our learners to go far, and we are very proud, and we do appreciate the opportunity. We hope it doesn't end with our learners. Let it be open and allow all learners to take part in this type of initiatives, so that they'll be able to learn and to grow and embrace their culture.
Still on education and best practice, the University of Venda recently paid a visit to the University of Limpopo to conduct benchmarking activities in an effort to ensure the quality and aligning of its academic programs with industry standards. The benchmarking visit to UL was organized by Universe Center for Higher Education, Teaching and Learning, and it offered them a chance to evaluate student-centered activities and improve several programs, such as their mentoring and tutoring program, which involved recruiting and monitoring student mentors. Head of Academic Development Unit at Univen, Dr. Fulani Ravulali, said they chose the University of Limpopo because it has one of the best curated student support programs that is strong at developing students. Dr. Thabo, who coordinates the Reading and Writing Center under the Center for Academic Excellence at UO, told the Univen counterparts that the center appoints 80 language consultants who are trained in reviewing assignments, conducting literature reviews, and demonstrating leadership skills. The University of Limpopo School of Agricultural and Environmental Sciences has long been committed to improving the standard of living of small-scale farmers through training and development in a variety of areas such as business development, agricultural best practices, cattle breeding, and commercialization. The school recently hosted a week-long experiential training celebration of Farmers Week. Students used the university's Sefergale experimental farm to conduct practical work in areas such as applied science, soil science, agronomy, horticulture, and agricultural economics, among other subjects, rather than learning from farmers and the community. Let's see a recap of the Farmers Week proceedings as students took it to the farm.
name is Ndwambi Patwani Hemen. I'm working here at the farm as a farm manager. So this week we are hosting SEPA students. This is this time we normally give students a chance to learn things practical. As you know that agriculture is an applied science. So the students will come and have a chance to do some of the activities that they normally learn theoretically. Here they do them practical. Like we have a different section where they will do plant and also the animal. So basically our core business here is to give students practical and also assist students with their research, both undergraduate and also the postgraduate student.
Let's take a short break. We will return with more of your news, including an interview with a young with bold moves who has just been included among the unsung heroes in the education sector. Thank you for staying with us. In other news, Dr. Edward Mundle, an English teacher, or rather lecturer at the University of Limpopo, was named one of the Sunday's World's Unsung Heroes in the education sector. Sunday World Unsung Heroes honors young people who relentlessly pursue their goals and row against the tide to change lives. Here in the studio with me to tell us more about the award and what it means for an academic, Dr. Mundle, thank you for joining us and congratulations for making the contest one of the unsung heroes in the education sector.
Thank you so much. Well appreciated.
All right. So, Dr. Mundle, what has led to the award?
Let me start by saying I am so delighted to be one of the honorees by Sunday World. I perceive this award as a milestone and a testament that hard work is indeed rewarding. I believe this award has been occasioned by some of the great work that I've been doing, some of the contributions that I have made in the category of education. I'm a lecturer in the School of Languages and Communication Studies. I teach and supervise postgraduate students, and I conduct research in an attempt to make a contribution towards finding solutions for Africa and the world at large. And one of the papers that I have co-authored with my colleague in the Department of Languages, which addresses the alienation of indigenous languages in the judiciary system in our country today, was featured in one of your newsletters. So in terms of my research work, that's where I make a lot of contribution in this sector. My research work focuses on post-colonial issues in the African context. That's where I look for solutions to these post-colonial problems. And I'm also part of several academic societies. For instance, I'm part of the International Teachers Association, and we are currently working on a project to develop an English language proficiency qualification for anyone that would like to enhance their English language skills. And I also serve on various editorial boards of journals. Thank you.
Okay, so have you always known that you were destined to be a teacher, or life made that choice for you?
I would say life made that choice for me because I would say I'm the second generation of teachers in my dynasty. My father was a teacher, passed on when I was 6 years old. I never thought I was going to be a teacher, and here I am today. But the good thing is when I started as a teacher in secondary school, I taught grade 10 to 12, and I was once recognized as one of the best performing teachers, and I wanted a trophy.
That's nice. So you are not a stranger to winning prizes. I see that you have previously won the best overall established researcher in the University of Limpopo during Vice Chancellor's Research Excellence Awards. Tell us about your research interests and how are you doing in this regard?
Okay, I would say hard work is my greatest substitute in life. All right, there is this code which says that work hard in silence and let the success be your noise by Frank Ocean. I make it a point that I give my best effort in every task that I'm given, all right, and that has helped me a lot in life. And with regard to my research, I focus on colonial legacies that continue to marginalize African identities. Despite the dispensation of democracy, we are in the post-colonial arena today, and our system, the democratic system, is yet to utterly address colonially orientated problems.
All right. Whilst we're still on that, Dr. Muntle, upon winning this prize, you made a commitment that you want to be NRF-rated research. How is the journey so far?
It is going well. I'm putting a great effort towards that. I'm publishing journal articles. So far this year, I've managed to publish 2 articles in high-impact journals. So that is ongoing, and so far I think I'm coming well.
Okay. Dr. Muntle, I'm impressed with how you are doing so far, and for someone your age, you have made great strides. You already serve on editorial boards. Which one are you currently, and what is your role there?
All right, I serve in a number of journals as an academic editor, for instance, in Plus One. I'm also an associate editor in Tilamsik. An editorial board member in Rembo, the Journal of Languages and Literature, as well as Nobel, the Journal of Languages, Culture and Literature. These are international journals, and I'm learning a lot and also making a contribution towards scholarship.
So I see you are also involved in the Young Research Fellow member of India's Scholars Academic. How is the experience so far?
So far, it has been a very rewarding experience. I was awarded this membership because of my research profile. Right. At the moment, I'm participating in establishing a new journal with that particular society. So I'm learning a lot and I'm developing myself.
All right. Dr. Muntle, as we draw to the close of the Youth Month, what is your message to youth and high school learners and your students who would like to follow in your footsteps?
I would say to them that there is no backdoor towards excellence. You need to work hard in order to reach the height or the level that you desire. I would say they need to set goals and pursue them, and during difficulties they should never give up, but rather nudge themselves even further when there are challenges. And the other thing that I would like to state is that you should always learn how to plan. You should plan properly, because failing to plan is actually planning to fail, and there is no gain without pain. So hard work is the way to go.
All right, great. Dr. Edward Muntle, thank you so much for having a chat with us on Inside GL News, and all the best with your way out.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. There you have it, viewers. Dr. Edward Muntle is punching about his weight. We are proud of him and draw inspiration. Now, every university's reputation and potential is gauged through its alumni base, and the University of Limpopo is nothing short of such a high profile. Some of the university's notable alumni include Limpopo Premier Chupu Matavata, the country's president, His Excellency Cyril Ramaphosa, Judge Residents, that is President's pardon, Justice Justin Mulambo, Justice Ephraim Mahoba, Justice Francis Logodi, and Justice Monica Liu, who serve as the High Court Judge Presidents. The Ministers of Basic Education, Honorable Enji Motshekga, Home Affairs Dr. Aaron Motsoaledi, and as Vice Board Chairperson Ernest Khosa, former Gauteng Premier David Makura, MSG Africa founder Given Mukari, and many others. If I were to read out the list, we would not have an end to this broadcast. The current chairperson of UL Alumni and Convocation Gauteng chapter, Thabo Thulare, reflects on what it means to be an alumnus of UL and his academic journey.
This association, this organization called the University of Limpopo Alumni and Convocation means a lot to me. I am now in my 4th year as a leader of this Gauteng chapter, and it's a very good instrument to encourage others who came before to become the examples that should be followed by those who are coming after. To understand that Alumni Association is more about giving back, it's more about paying it forward. It's more about making sure that you assist those who come after you not to endure some of the pains that you could have went through. During my times, the struggle was more about water in the residences of the University of Limpopo. I am happy to see that today, due to some of the contribution by this association, contributing ideas to the university at large, the struggles have changed. We are now have seen new developments of newly built residences, which then will mean that the struggles that I went through, those that came after me, are not going through those struggles.
The Clinical Operations Manager at Parexel says the Alumni and Convocation Association is not a political struggle, and every former student can join the association and contribute to the betterment of the institution.
And what I would want to encourage those who are coming after us is to understand that the University of Limpopo Alumni Association and Convocation, it's an apolitical structure. It's totally non-political structure that accommodates everyone who is a former student of the University of Limpopo, regardless of the political party that they affiliate with. They can come and contribute their ideas. They can come and contribute their financially as well, because we need finances to make sure that we assist those students who are disadvantaged and to be able to meet their own developmental goals and make sure that they become something and they become the inspiration from the villages they come from. So the University of Limpopo Alumni Association means the world to me. I will not trade it for anything, and I will not trade having been the journey of being the student of the University of Limpopo for anything.
In other news, various sporting codes at the University of Limpopo are gearing towards national and intervarsity championships. One such is the UL Dance Club, and they are adamant that they will step to the #1 spot at the upcoming national dance competition. Our reporter Ruben Mage filed this report.
Thank you very much. As you can see on my background, I'm at the University of Limpopo Recreational Hall at the MBL venue, whereby the University of Limpopo Dancing Club is having their rehearsals as they prepare for the 2 competitions that are coming. One which is the Intervarsity competition, and the other one is the Interprovincial competition. With me here, I'm with their coach, Mr. Obed Mufulin, who's here to tell us more about their preparations. Mr. Mufulin, thank you very much for allowing us time into your studio. You are facing a huge task ahead, whereby you will be participating in 2 competitions. And we can see you're basking in the very chilly and cold temperatures as you prepare. Please tell us more about your readiness.
Thank you.
So the combination of the two competitions obviously is a big challenge for the students, seeing that it's placed right in the middle of their holidays, so they can prepare mostly their formations, their couple, their ballroom, their hip hop. There's a lot of genres that we have here, and yeah, it's a huge task, but it's possible. We can do it.
The Intervarsity competition, which is held under the USA, which is like an annual competition. Last year you came out second in the competition, winning various medals and bronzes. So tell us about the mood this year. Are we coming out number one?
Well, definitely, given the fact that we've been doing well ever since the beginning of the year, the team is much bigger. This year the USAs are coming in even 10 times better. We've got more categories and more experienced dancers on the floor, and yeah, I think we're coming out with gold.
So the team, I can say the club itself, the UL Dance Club, has changed so many people's lives, and the students in particular, and also the surrounding communities as well. And we've seen the last weekend we also had held the provincial competitions. Can you tell us, or just share in your view, how can you measure the success and the impact that the dance club is having in various communities, other than just being at the university?
Well, I always say that the University Dance Club is the center of dance in the province. And we've proven it last week by hosting that competition where we invited all the districts that have dance, whether it's Amapiano, whether it's hip hop, and they actually came through and showcased their talent. And we know now that they know where to come to when they want to dance. The University of Limpopo.
Well, thank you very much for allowing us your time. We are actually now going to be joined by the world champions. The partners are here. I believe I was told that I should call them partners, so I'm going to be in the middle and be the third one. Tim, congratulations on your winning last year for the international competition. You came out number one. And we see that you're also joining the students here in terms of their preparations. But then yours are coming in, the competition is coming in November. Please tell us about this early preparation. We also learned that you practice or you rehearse until the wee hours of the morning. Please tell us more about that.
Yeah, we are trying so hard to practice, to perfect our craft. And indeed, we practice until the morning. We sleep here, we wake up here.
Yeah. So how has it been knowing that you wake up today and you're a world champion? And are you still carrying the cloud until today? How has it been so far?
Yes. Sorry, mind you that we just held the Limpopo Dance Championships over the weekend. So it's preparing us as well to get ready for the World Championships that will be happening in Netherlands November, from the 6th of November until the 12th. So remind you, we're still having a world trial, a super series for next year to qualify again to go represent the country next year. So as it is right now, we still have a competition to do and to compete in. So all these competitions, they are automatically readying us to get to the World Championships on the 6th of November. But to be a world champ, of course, that feeling, it doesn't really I would say, get to our heads. But people, also our dancers, they remind us, oh, Ghana, you guys are world champions. But yeah, the expectations are quite high. But because of we are always in the activeness, and it gets easier.
Yeah. So as the defending champions, we bring back the trophy. Is the trophy coming back home again?
It's a must. And that's why we are trying so hard to perfect this craft, and that's why we are trying to always prepare so that we bring it back.
Yeah. Well, we can only say good luck. And we'll say congratulations when you bring back the trophy again back home in the continent and in the country and in the province and at the university. From us, we can only say good luck with your rehearsals and all the best.
You can even say congratulations in advance.
There you have it. I just spoke to the team that will be participating at an international competition again this year. Last year, they won the competition. They're the defending champions. They're hoping to bring back the belt. And also the UL dance team will be participating in the USA tournaments and the intra-provincial competitions coming in the same week. 1 week in July. We can only say good luck to the team. Back to you in the studio.
To wrap up the festival of innovation during the Youth Month, the University of Limpopo hosted the 2023 Entrepreneurship Development in Higher Education internal rounds of the Intervarsity competition. The winning students from this round at UL will have the honor of presenting their businesses and the university at the regional and national final rounds. Joining us in the studio is one of the winners of the internal rounds, Thabo, a final year BSc in Environmental and Resource Sciences student whose business is a social enterprise called Buddies on the Move. Mantwa, thank you so much for joining us. You know, we are always excited to be joined by winners.
Thank you for having me.
Right. So, Mantwa, tell us about your business, and that is Buddies on the Move, right? Yeah, please do tell us about it.
Buddies on the Move is a non-profit company that aims at helping the Department of Education achieve the goal of eradicating the 81% alarming rate of young people who know how to read but do not understand what they are reading.
Okay, so Buddies on the Move, what inspired the name?
It was a group of students in high school, and we decided, since we are friends and this social learning environment is working for us, why not call this program Buddies on the Move? So that's what inspired the name behind it.
Okay. Please do tell us about your lessons, tutoring lessons that your business offers.
Well, we offer tutoring lessons for all grades, like learners from grade R till grade 12. So we have various staff members specialized in each grade. So what we do is we help these kids with homeworks, and then we also offer our tutoring. We also offer our tutoring lessons in a space of social learning environment, right? This is where learners are able to contribute, also to give each other advice and also help each other. This helps them with them taking ownership of their own academic lessons and then also their progress.
I've heard you speaking about kids, right? Do you also focus on youth? Because I'm told that your business aims to create employment among youth. Am I right?
Yes.
And how are you doing in this regard?
95% of our staff members is young people between the ages of 18 and 35. So we use the young people to help the kids.
Okay, perfect. So, Mantwa, now the internal rounds competitions. How much did you win and how did you actually win?
I won 10,000 rands, and how I won it was by just giving the judges what our business is and telling them what we need from this competition.
Okay, so what do you think is the most outstanding thing about your business?
The most outstanding thing about our business is that we target where most people are not focusing on. We combine the use of arts, creative speaking, and tutoring in one package, while most people are just focused on each of these categories individually, forgetting that what makes up a learner is all the three combined.
Okay, so are there any challenges that you are facing?
Yes, we do have challenges that we are facing, like partnerships with lodges. We are trying to achieve that so that we can host more camps for our learners, partnerships with more universities so that we have more opportunities for the learners who benefit from our business.
So you have managed to overcome the challenges that you have been facing?
We have managed to overcome the challenge of unemployment by being able to offer a stipend for everybody who volunteers under our program.
All right. So now that you have overcome those challenges, where do you see your business in future? What is your vision, actually?
In the next 5 years, we want to be one of the biggest social entrepreneur in Africa that is helping each and every learner in the continent.
All right, Mandwa, thank you so much for joining us, and we wish her all the best when she goes for the regional rounds to compete with winners from other institutions. Well, this brings us to the end of the news bulletins for this week. Please remember to subscribe to the channel for latest updates at the University of Limpopo every Friday.